broken down in New York City and beyond. So this is Hemmings Motor News. My dad has had a subscription since like 1962 or something like that.
No way.
Seriously.
I don't go that far back, but I remember getting Hemmings to look at car prices and stuff like that.
Yeah. Whoa, T-37.
Wow, there it is.
I love this car.
You know what? It really grew on me. At first, I couldn't get over to grill because I was passionate about the GTO grill.
Oh, yeah.
But now, I kind of like it.
The car we're road tripping in this episode is our 1971 Pontiac T-37. In case you're unaware, the T-37 was the base model in 1970 and 1971. Me and Mike Finnegan pulled this out of a junkyard on an earlier episode of Roadkill. It was L&L Classics in Idaho. You might remember that I got it stuck on the ramp that Evel Knievel used to jump the Snake River, so that was pretty awesome. After that, Dulcich and I used it on an episode of Roadkill Garage, where we wanted to improve the handling on the car, and it turned into just a giant comedy of errors, switching the coil springs around, trying to get it right. And then we finally went out and raced the 6 quad, trying to make the thing handle out on those farm roads, and it was great, until the front suspension completely sagged out. Remember last time we worked on this, it was just a battle with the coil springs?
Oh, yeah, that was no romance.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. Springs in and out and in and out, but it's got coilovers now?
It does. I had Lucky put those in because unfortunately the springs that you and I cut sagged out to the bump stops.
No way!
Yes. It was complete garbage.
Who'd have thunk it, right?
I know.
Geez, of course they did.
Other than that, we got a bunch of leaks that need to be addressed. No. Trans mount that's falling apart.
Me.
Said the headlights aren't plugged in.
No, that can't be true.
And the wipers apparently work but have no arms. So that's our job for the next couple of hours, and then I guess we'll hit the road. This episode is completely selfish, and I don't care. You see, I've been all over the United States, including even Alaska, but there are 5 states that I've never been to, and we're gonna hit them all on this episode. We're starting right here in Vermont, then New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Delaware. But before we get to wrenching, we're gonna go have a look at the Hemmings collection. Doug Gladd's gonna show us around.
Oh, great.
So this building is called the Sibley. It's named after Ed Sibley, who started a machine shop around 1880.
Wow, cool old place.
Yeah.
Oh, the Hemmings panel vans are iconic. Those are always on the cover.
Yep.
Like way back in the day. This is cool. This is my style.
I would ride this around anywhere.
There's a bunch of stuff here that needs to be fixed. First of all, these mufflers are about to fall off. Fortunately, the guys from Hemmings have an exhaust system that came off of their convertible Chevelle that we're gonna cobble under here too, so that, you know, we don't die. The transmission in this thing is a long tail housing out of a full-size car, and it's not really installed well, so the trans mount broke. Here we've got transmission fluid leak. Over here, there's an oil leak right at the filter. Up top, there's a coolant leak, and the power steering also leaks. There are other things under here that we're gonna have to address. This is goopy. Here comes Terry. Terry is an old friend from my publishing days. He worked on Hot Rod and Rod and Custom. What else?
Carcraft.
Carcraft, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
All that stuff. But you've been here at Hemmings
15 years.
It'd be good if you can grab it by the PAM so that we can
I just
pull the motor mount out.
Here's half the mount. There we go. We're talking about what to do to fix the trans mount situation, and I think that those guys are gonna weld a piece of metal on there for us that will just sort of adapt.
We have a buddy of Hemmings, Glenn here, and you've got everything sorted out to fix this. The problem is the spacing on the mount's not matching the bolt pattern and the transmission and the cross member, so we're gonna modify the mount with some outriggers to make the bolt pattern match, and I don't know if I can comprehend that complexity, but go fix it.
Vermont technology.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
It's hard to tell on camera, but the whole front nose of this car is from a different car. It's actually a slightly different color. It was that way from the junkyard we got it from. And Terry noticed that the headlights are completely unplugged, which might explain why they don't work. So we're gonna plug them in and hope that that does something good.
You get them both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this side connected already?
Yeah, have you met Terry? He actually works on the car. We plugged in the headlights, hopefully they work. That's your cue, Steve.
Okay, headlights going on. Ready?
Yeah.
No.
You turned them on?
Yes.
Nothing. That's a bummer.
Oh, that is a complete nightmare. Now what?
Hey, Terry.
I like the way you think, Freiburger.
What's weird is we got no headlights, but there's a light on over here. Try brakes. Nothing.
Nothing.
Maybe just kick it more.
Don't be mean to the T-37. No kicking.
Does all this melted wiring mean anything to you? Look.
Really?
I don't want to fix this. Hey, Terry. Oh, gross. It's like hair growing in there. Okay, is this a 1056?
They all take the same bulbs, David.
I think you're right. Look at this. All I had to do is scrape a ton of rust out of this side, put new bulbs in it, and everything works. Look at the backup light. Functional.
What we found was a ground that was disconnected, and that's why the headlights weren't working, so I'm connecting that up right now.
Ah! Okay, we have a hot one. You know what that is? That's a BAM.
On. Off.
All of the taillights work, and guess what? Boom. All 4 headlights. Now we're gonna lift this thing up and get to work on other stuff. We have our modified transmission mount ready to install, thanks to Glenn.
You know what the major flaw in this is? Is the made in Korea mount that actually has a metric stud in it that we are going to ramrod a 3/8 nut onto because that's who we are and that's the time we have right now. Ready to come down?
Come on down. Glenn's custom modification was pure genius. I wish there was some way I could take credit for that.
Ramrod it, man. Oh, that looks like it's going on fine. You're not ramrodding that. I don't think it's metric. It just had some of that rubber in it, right?
Oh, it's metric.
Next job, I'm gonna try and tighten this transcooler line that's leaking everywhere. And then we will install exhaust, and then we will leave. This is the old exhaust system off of Hemming's '69 Chevelle convertible project. They put something good on there and gave us their rust. And these are actually the same car underneath, so it should fit perfectly. All right, we got one side basically on, another side of the exhaust that needs to happen. We got to zip tie some wires, then we'll put it down. We need windshield wipers. And also there's the heater hose that's about to explode that I need to solve. Unfortunately, the only belts we could get locally are industrial, which we really shouldn't use for automotive, but we're gonna.
The belt's too short.
This is too short. I put the wrong one on the wrong one.
Yeah.
I need to swap them. Good. Done. Last thing, we're gonna get some oil in this thing and then actually hit the road. It's 7 o'clock in the evening. And then tomorrow will be the New Hampshire. The guys at Hemmings have been really awesome. We got a ton of work done on the car today. It had a million leaks. We fixed all that. Threw an exhaust system, changed the belts and hoses, and it's as good as it's gonna get. So we're gonna hit the road. Wow, sounds okay. Oh, and it's smoking.
Maybe it's just condensation.
Hopefully.
Well, we don't have collector gaskets, remember?
I don't think that's condensation. Will it do a burnout?
You bet it will.
Ah, lame.
I was kind of a little disappointed, but the brakes are probably too tight.
They're way too good.
Yeah. It took off like a rocket, but it just wouldn't do a burnout.
We attempted to do a burnout. It's so gutless that wasn't gonna happen. It seems like the transmission's slipping, which is why Glenn's working on looking at the fluid. And unfortunately, we're also hearing a rod knock.
A rod knock or eight
Or
rod
several,
knock?
yeah. So the philosophy here comes down to, do I want to destroy a 400 Pontiac? But if I do, I could turn it into a 455. So, I don't know. So last night we left the T-37 here in the parking lot. So what we're gonna do is listen more carefully and decide what's going on and feel like idiots.
Clear?
Yep.
Contact.
Oh, that's knocking, man. I hear what we were hearing last night.
I really don't know. I mean, if it was a rod knock last night, it wasn't severe.
There's a big exhaust leak at the intake manifold.
Not on this side.
There is here.
Really?
It's puking.
I was considering putting heavier grade oil in there.
Yeah.
We can use that as a diagnostic and see if it changes the sound.
We could.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, here's what's going on. We can't decide if this thing does or doesn't have a rod knock, so we're just gonna drive it around and find out. Gotta warm up a little.
Yeah, this cold, dense air will give it an extra pep, right?
Right. Oh, this thing runs good. This thing has that Pontiac torque.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, I'm smelling carbon monoxide from that exhaust leak.
So am I.
Oh, I forgot how much we improved the handling on this car.
Yeah, this thing's like a Porsche 911 Carrera.
Virtually. I want to get the oil good and hot and hear if it starts to knocka.
Well, when you really hear it is where you
Yep.
de-accelerate
Yep.
lightly.
Yep. Wow. This thing actually runs pretty good.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. Right now, my attitude is pour a can of goop in the motor and go. You can't say that we didn't exhaustively analyze this in the effort to not blow the engine up.
We didn't want to just execute the engine.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna solve all of our problems with chemicals.
Brilliant. That's all I could say.
Yeah? You wanna just go shopping?
Yeah, there's an auto parts back there if you want to go.
We're solving it with sauce. I got engine sauce, I have radiator sauce, I have power steering sauce, and I have transmission cure-all.
And I have a hot cup of Joe because it's
do.
freezing out here.
Okay. First, I'll have you know that this says right on it, eliminates the noise. They were speaking our language. That was genius marketing right there.
We saw that we were sold.
Sold! Oh, look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo. That's gnarly. If that doesn't fix rod knock, nothing will.
I'm gonna do the radiator stop leakage.
Okay.
Oh, do you want to put the non-slip in the transmission fix?
Of course.
You need to be able to cut the nozzle.
We don't have a knife unless the video crew does.
Well, of course they do. I'll take this one.
Hey, watch the paint.
Is this a butter knife?
Why don't you use the sharp side of the blade, Steve?
I don't know if I'm qualified to use this thing. You got to remove it all the way.
You were going to. I've
got my hands full.
I'll just take this knife
This
now.
is actually stuck to my thumb. Can you help me out with that?
Get out of my way. That was ultimately the result he was hoping for, by the way.
How did you know, Freiburger? Oh, man, I got coffee up my nose. Oh,
See, that Dulcich charm kicks in and he thinks it works on me, but I've seen it for too many years. Remember last night we were all freaked out about Rod Knocked. This morning we decided to just take it for a drive and see what it would do. We drove it around, we feel pretty good with it. We decided to rebuild it with a whole bunch of pour-in sauce. I think we're going to be okay. We were so convinced that something was wrong with this engine that this morning we went and visited this guy Joe, who's like the local Pontiac guy, and he has a whole bunch of engines and parts and everything. He was gonna style us out with everything that we needed. But after motoring it, we're pretty convinced it's gonna be all right. And so we're just gonna hit the road.
Does it feel like the transmission's shifting way better now?
Feels like it has another 30 horsepower.
Wow.
Don't you think so?
I don't see any more smoke being emitted, and I don't smell the carbon monoxide, which is odorless anyway.
Everything's fixed. Main Street's pretty good.
Brick. They just don't make buildings out of brick anymore.
In case we haven't said it, Hemmings is in Bennington, Vermont. And this is the kickoff of our entire trip. So I've spent no time in the Northeast.
Neither have I.
This car is low.
But it's adjustable. If only we had the tools to actually adjust it.
Are you technically a Yankee if you're from Vermont? I guess anywhere in Northeast is a Yankee.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
Look, I knew something about football again.
It's baseball.
Oh. Oh, I see the general store now. Let's see. This is going to be a scraper, I think.
You got it. You got it. No problemo. Oh my gosh. This thing's on the ground.
It is.
Wow.
Yep. Whew. Cold. Got my blankets. Steve got his honey.
And syrup.
All right. You're local now.
That's right.
Okay, this buzzer is super irritating. Check this out. The buzzer goes off when you open the door. The key's not even in the car. When you shut the door, it goes off. Ah, freezing.
Nice and warm in here, though.
You gonna drink your honey? Close. So now you know what it's like to be an engine ingesting the motor honey, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's like the Lucas oil stabilizer.
I wonder
of
if
foods.
this would take care of our potential rod knock problem.
It probably would. We were at the gas station just now, and this guy Paul walks up and he follows us. He's like, dude, my dad has 600 cars in the woods over here. I looked at the Google Earth view of this guy's place. There's cars everywhere.
Really?
Yeah. So we're gonna go check it out. Ooh, this is like full Dukes of Vermont. Whoa! That's the ground scraping. This thing is way too low.
It is. Yeah.
Wow, look at the neat little lake.
Oh, there's a beaver dam right there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Just imagine, this guy dragged 600 cars down this road in his life.
Wow, that's a lot of cars. That makes you look like a school choir boy.
Completely.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at the burnout marks.
Oh!
This is hardcore.
Whoa!
That is new levels. I give this guy credit. That's hardcore.
You're talking about 13 inches of thread on the ground right there.
Yeah, that was epic. Ooh, all of this stuff is great. Wow. This is gonna be so good. We made it. It's Paul, right?
Yeah.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Hey, Paul,
Man.
I'm Steve.
Nice to meet you.
How are
Thanks
ya?
for inviting us.
Yeah. Oh!
I can see the volume from here. This is super cool. We were filling up at a gas station, had an opportunity to see the real Vermont, not the tourist version. This guy, Paul, who recognized us, I guess, from TV, and he's like, dude, 20 minutes from here, you can come see my dad's collection of 600 cars that are 1980 and older. Here we are, and we're about to have a look at the stash. Look how far they go out into the woods. This is cool. That is literally rotted into the ground.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at the super cab. That's bitchin'. R. Gregory Diversified Service Tree Specialists.
Oh.
Yeah, look what I see in the back. Spider turbocharged 150 horsepower. You know what that's from?
Yeah, that comes from a Corvair.
Yep. This is the country sedan, but not the country Squire.
Is that
I
a
love that
71
wagon.
or 72?
72.
Oh, the side markers give it away.
Yes. I've never seen this many Corvairs in one place.
I like this Corvair.
This is the cool body style to
Yeah.
me, the second gen one.
Yeah,
The
me
first
too.
ones are not so snazzy. It's crazy. This is all a personal collection.
I know. Isn't that wild?
Dude,
1932.
it's a two-door sedan. Wow.
Been in here 50 years.
Right there, 50 years?
Yep, never
No
moved.
way. Wow.
And we're
It's got the engine crank.
tow truck that brought the
Oh,
cars
is this the
in.
one you were telling me about that brought all these cars in here?
Yes.
Totally functional.
Yes, still runs. We still actually use it.
The 57 Dodge.
And my father's owned this since he was 18 years old.
No kidding.
Whoa.
He's 79 now.
Oh, the interior's pretty good. Wow. We spent about 2 hours hunting around this place, and I could spend another full day. Unfortunately, the cars here are really, really rusty, but all the stainless and everything's really good, and there's so much to look at. I would just spend the day photographing it. We got to get out of here because we still have all of New Hampshire to drive through today. That was a great stop. That made it
Yeah.
worth it.
Wow, what a find. You know, that's kind of like one of the joys of being on these trips. So now what?
New Hampshire.
Oh! Didn't you see that big rock?
I did. I thought I was just barely.
Oh.
Oh, this thing is way too low.
There's no ground clearance at all.
No. We're back on the highway.
Oh, there we go.
All right, Steve, when we cross this bridge, we will be in New Hampshire.
Really?
Yep.
New Hampshire. And look at the bridge. It's steel. It's a steel truss.
It said New Hampshire liquor store
Yeah.
coming up.
Me and my buddies are in New Hampshire for the first time.
Yeah.
New Hampshire. I think he used to go to New Hampshire to get liquor because it was cheaper and then the tax and the laws are more lax.
In
than
Vermont?
Yeah.
We left Vermin.
Vermin.
We left Vermin and went to New Hampshire. I've had my fill of New Hampshire.
Really? I'm ready to move on too. I need some Massachusetts in my life.
Me too. I've seen the state I've never been in. And here it comes, entering Massachusetts. I think we're just gonna cannonball through the state. Our plan is to get as close to the Rhode Island border tonight as we can because we're starting to run short on days and I definitely want to get to New York City.
Let's go.
Is that actually Boston straight ahead of us?
Oh, yeah. Look at that. That is metropolitan Boston right before our eyes.
It says there's a tunnel up here. I hope we get to go through that.
Wow.
Wow, this is a long tunnel and it's like goes over bumps and corners and stuff. Oh, we lived.
Yeah, what a
That was
day.
a long day, Dulcich.
The T-37 treated us right.
Just keeps going.
Yeah.
Boston was cool.
That was good. And the skyline at night was pretty cool. Massachusetts, cross it off the list.
Tomorrow, Rhode Island. Whew, that is a brisk breeze.
It is.
So you know what, Steve? I was laying awake last night thinking about the whole debacle with the does it have rod knock or not? I'm thinking piston slap. Because think how it completely went away once it warmed up.
I'll buy that.
Here's something you need to know about Steve Dulcich. He goes to sleep every night watching documentaries on YouTube. He goes deep on all sorts of subjects.
I do.
Space, What else?
Tall sailing ships.
Whaling.
Whaling.
Exactly. So we're gonna go down and take you to the Moby Dick Memorial.
Bedford?
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
New Bedford. So apparently New Bedford was a major whaling center.
Oh, definitely.
Back in the day, and what are we talking about? Are we talking about 1700s?
Oh, no, the height of the whaling era was 1800s.
Here's the port of Bedford, though, New Bedford. Wow. Oh, look at all those fishing ships. That one's from Nantucket. There's the Whaling Museum.
Oh, okay. I like stuff like this. Whaling, tall ships, harpoons.
Dulcich is actually obsessed with this stuff. You think that's 1-to-1?
I don't think a whale's heart is that big.
I think it could be, although not from that whale.
Well, that's a blue whale right there.
Yeah.
You can tell what kind of whale this is, right?
Sure.
What? Well, look, it's got teeth. It's a sperm whale. It's not going to be able to bite off Ahab's leg with baleen, right?
It needs teeth.
Yeah, that's right. I want to take a look at this boat. Imagine manning this oar. This oar is like 28 feet long. Bro, they give you the high five deal right there. Let's get back to the T-37 and hit the road.
Our Massachusetts goal achieved. Now we got battleships and then Rhode Island. This is like a vacation, Dulcich.
I know, it's like a sightseeing tour.
Oh, there it is. Military watercraft.
Wow, look at that battleship.
Oh, there's a submarine there too.
Yeah.
What we're looking at here is a handful of ships in Battleship Cove here in Massachusetts. That one right there is the USS Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. It was involved in the Cuban Missile Crisis. The submarine is the USS Lionfish from World War II. And then the big one is the USS Massachusetts.
That's a battleship.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
Cold.
Yeah, freezing.
All right, we're going to Rhode Island. Here we come. Ready? All right, Rhode Island.
We're here. Rhode Island.
Do you feel refreshed by the ocean breeze as we officially enter the city of Newport?
I feel really good.
It seems very New England-y based on the movies I've seen.
Yeah.
Vehicle loud mufflers are prohibited. That's what that sign said.
Really?
Yeah.
Right, we would have been kicked out of here before we got
think.
gentrified.
Maybe we gentrified our exhaust system or we'd be out.
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 Out. Yeah.
Get out of Newport now.
Ow. That's right. They would have kicked us out.
We're finally gonna break down and wrench on this thing. Sort of. It's been running hot. I think it's just puked too much water out of the little crack in the radiator that I fixed poorly. And it keeps cranking hard, like, and when it's doing that, you can hear it pinging. And Steve's theory is?
That the advanced mechanism is hanging up.
So we're going to lube that doohickey.
Yeah.
And, why isn't... All right, typical GM distributor like this, you have to remove the distributor cap, then I'm gonna have to remove the rotor, and we'll be able to see the advance weights there. I guess we'll fill that out of the video van cooler.
That's a good idea.
Wow. Okay, that works.
It was like this gust of wind just swept that right out of the back of the video van.
Yep. There we go. Okay, that's full.
So what I was looking for was whether the advanced mechanism was stuck, but I was able to turn it by hand and feel it and it just snaps right back. by the spring, so the mechanism's completely free.
All good?
We are road ready, my friend.
Good. Next stop, Times Square. Will it do a burnout yet? It will. I think we're just entering actual New York City.
Oh, yeah?
I've never been. Have you?
I've been to New York City, yeah, but it's been a long time since I've been, like, right down in Manhattan.
Wow, that bridge is awesome.
Yeah.
George Washington Bridge. Wow, look at all those apartments just packed in there.
Yeah.
We going in the Lincoln Tunnel?
I don't know. Oh, that's the Intrepid.
Wow!
That is the aircraft carrier Intrepid right there.
Wow!
That is so awesome.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm a complete fish out of water here.
You don't want to run over these people.
I dig it.
Oh, thanks.
I dig it a lot.
She likes it.
Oh, yeah. How's it going?
56?
No, it's a 71. We definitely attract attention here with this. Better hope this thing doesn't overheat.
Yeah.
I'm really thankful for no gauges right now.
Uh-huh.
This is Broadway in New York City in a 1971 Pontiac that we pulled out of a junkyard in Idaho. What's really crazy is how many pedestrians are noticing us and like waving or thumbs up or shaking their heads or, hey, it's crazy. I feel it, this thing's hot.
I'm feeling a lot of heat, too.
Yeah. Ooh, I smell antifreeze now.
Oh, yeah.
Smell it?
A little bit, yeah.
It's puking.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, look at all the water we left. And here we are steaming it up in New York City. Oh!
That's the problem.
Yeah, there's a big crack in the radiator and it's dumping all the fluid. Here's what's going on. We are trying to cruise New York City. Everything was going pretty good. And an old repair on the radiator cracked open. So it's actively spraying out right now. And we're trying hard to get to our hotel before this thing absolutely
Melts down
in the middle of wherever we are. It's really bad right now. I'm kind of stressed out. It is actively dumping all the water out of the radiator. The engine will seize. Do you see our guy?
That's a red light.
Ah, rats. No, I can't turn it off. I was just gonna run it, but you told me to stop.
No, I didn't. I said it was a red light.
I know. What's up? This thing is gonna be toast. We gotta get out of here.
We have to.
All right, come on. All right, we're pulling over. We gotta cool it down and get some water in it though. So this radiator has a giant hole in it and is actively puking. Of course, that means there's water still in it. Don't let that spray anybody.
Yeah, this radiator cap's wasted.
Yeah. Okay, that was the wrong move because now all the water's out of it. So now we have no radiator cap, right?
Just put a sock in it. It can't hold pressure anyway.
Yeah.
We're better off without a radiator cap.
Probably. The video guys brought me the cooler again. Yeah, we blew all the water out of there.
There wasn't that much left in there.
Man, you overheating?
Oh yeah, you think? Steve's trying to fix the crack in the radiator with his gum, and it's getting super gooey and disgusting. Oh, that whole patch blew off.
It did.
Oh, you got it all over everything. We got a crowd.
To fix this at this point, what we need is a sock, an ordinary sock. And I'm willing to sacrifice one of these stylish black socks. It's a lost cause because the radiator cap exploded, but you could just take a regular sock, you stuff it in there like underneath the lip, like so.
Let's find out if it runs.
I think the sock makes a good radiator cap because it allows it to not build pressure.
Right, the pressure right now would just be squirting out the other side.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't make Times Square, but I think that was still a major win anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. Man, last night was one of the most memorable things in the history of Roadkill. I had
was awesome.
so much fun.
I know.
I admit, I was stressed to the limit.
Well, you were.
I did not want to kill the engine. And so we got flex tape. We're gonna try and seal the big cracks in this radiator.
Well, I mean, if the gum shorted up temporarily, I'm sure the flex tape is better.
It's cracked pretty bad right there.
Well, I know it is.
Yeah, you can put on the new radiator cap. Ah, there's all sorts of gum.
The gum is gross, but it saved us.
How's your sock holding up over there?
This is life in New York City.
I got the piece of tape here. It's gonna go right there. This is gonna be a great science experiment to see if this tape actually holds. If it does, I've discovered like a new field repair for us. Okay, I think we're ready to rock. We're back to the chaos. All right, I'm worry-free about the Flex Seal. I think it's gonna work.
I have no anxiety whatsoever. It's nothing but
free.
open road now.
Yep. I'd like to see Statue of Liberty from a distance.
Okay.
What's up?
Ooh.
Can't believe it. Can I take a picture with you guys?
Sure.
Yeah, man.
Oh, so you watch Roadkill?
I've been watching you guys in Saudi Arabia.
I've been to Riyadh.
Thank you so much, guys.
Very
right.
cool.
Good luck.
Thank you. All right, cool. Thanks. Wow, that guy's been watching Roadkill since he lived in Saudi Arabia.
I know.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. This is as good a place as any to cool this thing off.
And to check out
There it is.
Lady Liberty.
Yep. Well, it's overheating again bad, and I see water on the ground. But hey, there's the Statue of Liberty. That is not gonna stick.
Yeah. Oh, don't peel it off.
Why not?
Because what are you going to do?
We got the solder.
Okay, but you realize that this radiator is going to need to be drained down below that level to solder it.
I bet it already has been.
You think so?
It puked a lot.
That's madness, Freiburger.
Are you guys Roadkill?
Are you? Yeah!
Hey, free ice cream for you guys.
Oh, nice!
Whoa!
Hey, you guys are awesome.
Wow! Man, it just keeps coming and coming.
Whoa.
That is the greatest thing that's happened all day so
Look
far.
at that. Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
That's awesome.
Anything else?
Thanks for watching.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
It's just nothing but pure sunshine in New York City, man. New York City. There ain't no place like it in the whole world.
What Steve's doing here is soldering the big crack in the radiator. So the radiator is made out of brass or copper, and you need to use a silver solder in order to fix cracks or to adhere nipples to it or anything like that. So first, you clean it up as much as you possibly can. You don't want any water on the backside. Next up, you have to use some flux in a little can with a little brush, and when you put that on the surface, it sort of prevents the solder from beading on it. It sort of helps it flow. And then Steve's also going in with a torch and sort of melting it in afterwards.
Man, that's runny. So the trick here is to get the solder to fix the crack.
You've done better work.
Probably have.
You caught the fan shroud on fire. That's not an elegant job, but it might be functional.
All right, you gotta know when to hold them, and you gotta know when to fold them. That's either gonna seal
Or it's not. Next, I'm gonna cut the end of this radiator hose off because it seemed to have a little crack in it. Why risk it? Okay. So Steve's scheme was to go inside this restaurant and get a pitcher of water. Did you actually pull that off?
Yeah, there's a very nice lady in there behind the bar.
Yeah?
Boom.
If you get most of that in the radiator, it'll be great. Wow.
I'm getting almost every drop in the radiator.
That was a true Dulcich move right there.
Ugh, New York City water.
Yo!
Yeah.
Another roadkill guy.
Yeah.
I'm getting pretty good at this New York driving thing.
Yeah, I know.
You've noticed?
Yeah.
I'm feeling kind of hungry.
You're hungry?
Yeah. Ooh, there's a hot dog right there. Dude, style me with my first New York cart hot dog. Basically, it only needs mustard. Let's see if Dulcich knows.
Let me have 2 hot dogs with mustard.
I hope he didn't get a whole bunch of goofy condiments on this thing.
Thanks, my man.
That it only needed mustard. What did you get on my hot dog?
I got you just mustard.
Oh!
What?
Man, it's like you read my mind. Okay.
How's your dog?
That's perfect. Thanks, Steve.
Don't sweat, Maddie.
I see Empire State Building. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Now I feel the heat through the floorboard. Not puking.
No?
Maybe it's all gone. Hey, your solder's holding up pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Starting to feel a little bit better.
Yeah, me too.
Although my feet are now baking.
I've been feeling pretty good the whole time, though.
That's because you're not driving. You can just basically go psh, like you do and open the door and just walk to the nearest bar. I don't
Is that what I do?
Yeah.
Um,
You would go.
I would find myself annoying in that case.
Well, you can't say we didn't get the full New York experience.
Oh, we did.
Nice cooling breeze. Well, goodbye, New York City. It was pretty good.
It was.
Hey, look, New Jersey! Dulcich, we're in New Jersey.
And now, Pennsylvania. Here we are.
Pennsylvania. Steve, this is state number 8 by my calculation.
Yes, Pennsylvania.
Only one more state to go, and it's the last state that I haven't been to, and that's Delaware. It's a long way to Delaware. I don't know. Oh! That was hardcore.
Oh, that was a clunk.
Welcome to the morning of our last day from the highway in the Pontiac. We're heading south from Philly into Delaware. That will be the final state that I need in order to be at all 50. If this thing makes it with the exhaust system intact. Because man, that was bad.
That was full bottom out.
I detect that after overheating in New York, there might be a little bit more oil smoke coming from the Pontiac.
That's possible.
Did you notice when it was really hot, not only does it idle faster, which is strange, but the oil gets thinner and you can hear it like slapping or knocking.
There's more clatter for sure.
Yeah. Delaware!
No way!
We made it!
Yo!
I'm gonna stop just shy for the celebration. I'm gonna pull way over here. Did it! Yes!
Boom! Right there.
And with that, I will be in all 50 states as soon as I cross the line. Ready?
That deserves a bro shake.
Yes! Bam! And boom!
Delaware!
I have 2 bits of bad news. We have no brakes at all.
Okay, I knew about that.
Yeah, none, nothing. And the other thing is some guy posted on my social that I've actually been to Delaware before.
Oh.
He was like, yeah, Drag Week 2019, when you drove from here to there, you went through Delaware. Thank you, Buzzkill. I was like, well, I don't remember it, so it doesn't count. Anyway, I guess we'll try and do a burnout with this thing, but the brakes almost don't exist.
It lasted long enough, though. That's pretty commendable.
That's typical roadkill. Ready?
Yeah!
Man, we did it. I have finally hit all 50 states of the United States. But you know what? It doesn't end there. You can always get in your car. You can always find a new road. It doesn't have to be in far-flung corners of the country. You can find them in your own neighborhood. Just drag your junk out of the garage. Don't get it right. Get it running. Grab a friend. Make a goal and do it. I did it, and it just happens to involve all 50 states. But you know what? There's more adventures to be had, just like we will do on every episode of Roadkill. All right, you want to go shut the trunk for me?
No way.
Yeah.
I don't want to get out there. It's cold.
I know.
Yeah. You've got that beard to keep you warm.
Mr. Dulcich would request that the production assistant come and shut the trunk for him so he does not have to experience any chills. Man, what is wrong with you?
Someone teach Freiburger how to shut the trunk.
This time on Roadkill, we rescue a Junkyard 1957 Chevy after sitting in the dirt for 4 decades and take it right back to where it came from, the Junkyard.
If it breaks down one more time, I'm gonna leave it there.
Right about now, we are in beautiful but sweaty Kaufman, Texas, home of Flying Sparks Garage. And we are here because 5-acre, 12-volt, and now Tri-5 Dave has bought another 57 Chevrolet. I think this makes 7 for him that neither run nor drive. We got it in Big Springs, Texas last summer during a road trip. It's missing everything, so he shipped it here to Flying Sparks Garage. And back there, we are going to see the car really for the first time, because when he bought it, it was nighttime, it was in the dark. And so over the next 2 or 3 days with our friends Aaron and Emily, we're going to get it running roadkill style, get on the road and go back to where we got the car from so we can get all of the junk that's missing from that 57 Chevy.
Well, long story short, I ended up buying from a guy named Dickie Jones, and the goal for this week is to get it running after like 30 years. I hadn't really seen the car in great detail, so hopefully in like 2 or 3 days we can stab a motor and transmission in this thing and I get it on the road.
It looks better in the daylight.
It really does.
In the dark, you really couldn't tell how straight it was.
It's not bad at all, dude.
No.
I mean, yes, it's missing lots of things, but overall, yeah, minimal patchwork in the floors there, considering it's not missing the whole thing, but...
If it was good enough for Fred Flintstone.
So last I heard, Dickie said he went through the whole chassis and put new ball joints and bushings and everything on it. So hopefully there's, not a lot to do down there. Shove a motor and trans in it, drive shaft, and go.
Dude, you can tell he worked on it. Look, he's already installed the steering wheel and the power windows.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we push it inside the shed?
It rolls. That's a good thing. There we go. That looking good.
Perfect. You guys know Aaron and Emily. They've been on Roadkill before, a bunch of times, actually.
Handful, yeah.
And they are kind enough to let us invade the Flying Sparks Garage. We will have this thing running in no more than 10 or 12 days. Like, none of this is rotten.
No, the firewall, untouched. When we bought this car, I didn't even look in the trunk. And there's just random parts in here. But luckily, I have all the years, so this will fit something I own, which is good. Oh, that's sweet.
The steering wheel, right?
Steering wheel. That's the horn.
Sick.
On back. Perfect. Tell me about the engine.
So here's our small block Chevrolet. I pulled this out of my buddy Brandon's C10, and it's complete. I left everything on it. Carburetor, it's got a 4-barrel Holly on it. The alternator, the belt, the fan, everything is complete. We should be able to drop this in the 57, put the distributor in, and fire it up. The trans, it's a Turbo 350, it has a shift kit. This thing's got a small camshaft in it, dual plane intake. Hopefully, we can do some burnouts.
Nice thing about working on a car from Texas that's unfinished is the parts virtually fall off the car themselves.
Yes.
It's like quick release. It's not all stuck together with rust. Let me just save your life here. Coming in hot.
All right, I need 2 3/8 bolts.
It's sliding. Ooh, it's gonna come off.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. All right, go back if it'll go.
It's up against something.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I like it. Come on.
Here we go. We were gonna just use a ratchet strap and or a chain to hold this motor, and then it occurred to me, might as well just start to build out with some quality and make a motor mount for this side of the engine, because we only have one. And without the other one, the fuel pump sits on the cross member, which is no good. That's our engine mount. It's cosmetic, but it makes me feel better.
So I pulled the valve cover off, just a quick way of, letting you know that you're on top dead center. I got the timing mark ready down here, and both these valves are closed. So I know I'm on the compression stroke. So now I can put the distributor in. Hopefully it clears, because this firewall is super nice on this car. It's probably the nicest part of the car, so I'm not gonna beat it to clear an HEI distributor.
Oh, that's close. Will the cap go on? I think it might, dude.
We're good.
We can put the headers in next, put the carb on.
Yeah. It is a bone stock HEI distributor, electronic ignition, 1 wire. It'll run.
Nice carbonator.
Man, we are rolling. Motor and trans are in. The guys are wiring right now, putting gauges in. I'm about to install a fuse panel. It's by Auto Rod Controls. This is race car stuff. It is a relay and fuse panel all in one with this trick switch panel, which is backlit even when the car is turned on.
I think that should be adequate for Roadkill.
Relay 1 will be ignition. Relay 2 will be starter solenoid. 3 and 4 headlights.
Man, we are making some serious progress. The engine is bolted in permanently. We've got new plugs in it, the distributor's in it. Emily's got the gauges handled, the fuse panel mounted inside. We've started wiring the car. One hiccup so far, the master cylinder that I ordered is not correct. It's for a power booster, and this doesn't have power brakes. So we've got to find that.
Maybe that one will just start working.
The cap will not come off, but I'm gonna fix it with fire. I don't know, we'll see.
It's an archaeological dig in there, dude.
Like new.
Does the pedal move?
Of course not.
I think we should fill it completely and let it sit overnight. I'm gonna call this the most successful day one in the history of Roadkill.
Really?
Yeah, that car was outside without a motor, and now it's inside with a motor and a transmission and gauges and a switch panel and a fuse block, and nothing's on fire yet. So, complete success. Tomorrow we make it run.
It is day 2, and man, we got a lot done on day 1. The brakes are questionable. I put some fluid in the master cylinder last night to hopefully see if it would gravity feed out, but nothing happened. So a local parts store says they can have one by lunchtime today. We got to get it on the lift and measure for the draft shaft next, but I mean, it's looking pretty good. It's time to measure for the draft shaft. I ordered a complete kit from Summit Racing. It comes with a longer tube, the yoke for the rear, the slip yoke for the trans, everything you need. All right, I'm on the center.
53.5.
So now we will take this, drop this off at the draft shaft shop, have them cut and weld it and balance it.
This car does not have a shifter, so I'm putting one in, and I'm taking advantage of the fact that the car's in the air right now so that I can put the cable mount on the transmission.
Well, it's bone dry, which I'm not surprised. So now I just want to put some fuel in it to flush if there's any rust in there, which I know there is. I got the fuel line disconnected from the tank back here, and I'm certain it's got to have something in the line because it's been open up front for 30 years. So I'm going to blow some air through it. We've put some brake clean in there, and hopefully any trash that's in there comes out.
Oh, he's right here. Oh yeah, watch, I'll clog it. So that's clogged. Do it again. Oh yeah, dirt's coming out, dude. Do it again.
I feel good about it. We'll have 3 filters. Our master cylinder has came in. It looks to be the correct one. We're about to find out. I'm gonna hook up the brake line, and then once I put fluid in it, we'll try and gravity bleed these fronts just to see what happens. That'll tell us if the rubber portion of the brake lines are okay, which I'm assuming they're probably not.
Thanks for giving me a job, Noobs.
Of course. All right, hold it.
Holding.
Good news, 3 out of the 4 wheel cylinders are actually functioning, but we are getting air out of 3 of the 4. Look what I got.
Headers.
That's right. I can't say what they are, but just say tubes of the night.
Stole my joke. Keep going.
Feel good about it.
That's a lot of poop.
Whoa, it's not fresh.
So we went to the parts store to search for a brake line, and they had the rear. It looks very similar to the front, so I'm going to try and put it on the front. There you go. The rear brake line on the front. Works perfect. Pump, pump, pump it up.
Pump it up.
All right, hold it. Oh!
Dang.
All right, good sign. All right, pump it up. How's it feel?
Feels like it would stop a car.
We're officially done with the brakes. All 4 corners are working right now, today. We'll check back tomorrow.
Where are we at? It looks like it wants to run.
Brakes are functional, headers are on, the wiring's done, fuel line is done. Only thing that's left is the throttle pedal.
Why not make that factory connection point connect to our Holley carburetor with the only thing I have laying around, which is brake line.
I love it.
Hey, Em, why don't you try that gas pedal for us?
Does it work?
Oh, yeah.
It works great.
It's wide open. It's wide open.
Perfect.
All right, it is time to put the wheels on the 57, and these may look familiar, what it was rolling on. These are off the vet cart when we took it rally racing. These are just to roll the car around because it didn't have any wheels and tires on it when I bought it. So we're gonna ditch these and install a set of Rocket Racing wheels. These are 15x4s on the front. The backs are 15x7s, I believe. I guessed on the back spacing. Rear tires are a BFG 255/70/15. Front tires are a Mickey Thompson Sportsman, you know, little skinny. I like the pattern, that's why I went with these. They look kind of old school, nostalgic. So right now we're gonna mount them. Oh boy.
Don't worry.
Oh God.
Don't worry. That's one. Oh, yeah.
All right, so having trouble seating the tire on the bead of the rim, and we're gonna use the old trick, starting fluid, spray some in there, running up the sidewall. Aaron's gonna light it. Hopefully it explodes and seals and all is well. You know, it could go bad. That's why we're outside.
I see hoses, I see wires, I see an engine. Newbern's laying on the floor.
I'm ready. Okay.
And give it a little air. Just a little. There we go. It's alive. And we have oil pressure.
Give me some timing.
Don't run it too long because there's no drive shaft. That pickup might be clogged. Like, it probably worked for a little bit, and then it sucked whatever trash or the sock up in there, and now we're getting no fuel.
So it's let's call it a successful day.
All right, let it be known that on day 2, Flying Sparks Garage and the Roadkill crew have made this car run again. And on day 3, it's gonna move out of here.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed.
That 307 sounds rowdy.
It does. Let's go drink. Well, it's day 3. The build's going good. Day 2, we got a lot of work done, and it culminated with a pretty severe fuel delivery issue. And when we got into the shop this morning, I think we found the source of that fuel delivery issue because it's right there on the floor. We're guessing that the factory hardline somewhere between here and there has got a hole in it, which is why this thing didn't want to draw fuel out of the tank. So today we began with putting the car up in the air, cleaning the fuel leak up, and opening the doors, letting all the air conditioning out of the shop so that we don't suffocate. One spark and we might actually lose the shop. It is very rusty right there. Let's just run a rubber fuel line from the front of the car all the way to the back of the car and bypass all the rusty fuel line that's in here.
Perfect.
This is the wrong way to do this. You don't want to run this much rubber line from front to back in your automobile, but in the roadkill world, it is the most efficient way. New fuel line's in. We're gonna try to fire it again because we really never heard it run great. We're either out of gas or the pickup is also clogged. It's not picking up any fuel. So either there's nothing left in the tank because it leaked out on the floor, or maybe the sock at the bottom of the pickup is just clogged or something.
The tank's probably full of rust anyway.
Probably full of rust. I mean, the fuel line was rusted out, so.
Does it have any cracks in it?
It's got stuff in it.
It's probably water. That should work.
Well, look at that. While Newbern and I were out at the hardware store getting metal to patch the floors and bolts to make sure the doors don't fall off, Emily and Aaron found the perfect fuel cell for this car. I believe it looks like it's numbers matching and has virtually the same patina as the body of our hot rod.
That's right.
Yeah, I almost washed it, but then I remembered who it was for, and I was
don't
like,
do that.
no,
Don't do that.
it can't be clean.
All right, so a couple of ratchet straps, run a hose from there to there, barb fitting, and we can once again try to start the car.
I'm gonna put the draft shaft in.
All right.
Sweet. Man, look how pretty it is. So we know it's gonna be good.
Boom.
All right, so Aaron and I are putting the front bumper on. I had to borrow Aaron's off of his car. And then once we get this part done, we can put the grill in it. So what's left? You got the floor pans done, seat, shifter, steering. The factory steering shaft on a Tri-5 is all one piece. And it's got a column that slides around it with bearings to support it. Well, I'm missing half of it. So what we're gonna do is gonna cut the shaft down here, install like an aftermarket deal, not where it's supposed to be, but we're just gonna make it work. You know, it'll get us to Big Spring, Texas. Get that off me.
Oh, sorry. You get that Satan stick out of my face. I hope we don't need any of the wires that are in behind this dash because I'm bumping into all of them.
It looks rad.
The seat's in, steering's done, brakes are done. I just got like a little B&M shifter, little 3-speed deal. It's gonna mount right there in the floor. It's cool looking. It fits kind of the era of the 60s and 70s hot rods. We're gonna cut a hole in the floor. Are those bolts long enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dudes, we've done so much work in the last 3 days. I'm fired up. If it will go through the gears and has fuel pressure and sounds decent, I say we just mosey on out there. See what happens.
You. Let's do it.
Filter still dry.
Let's bottle feed it a little bit.
Okay, here we go.
There's still no fuel.
Why did it die as soon as I put it in reverse?
Yeah.
It's probably the brakes, just being so tight.
We're having this weird problem right now where when he puts it in gear, the motor shuts off. I know what it is. We were retarding it, and we thought we were advancing it. So when you go and put it in gear, it wouldn't take the load and it wouldn't run. And
So right now we're having problems timing this thing. It's acting really funny. When you put it in gear, it dies immediately. So we're gonna pull up top dead center again and make sure the rotor is in fact pointed at the #1 cylinder.
Again, intake valve is opening. Again, intake valve is closing. The truth is, the old finger in the hole trick is sort of accurate, but not exactly accurate. And we are seriously questioning that we're timing this motor off the mark on the balancer that is actually at top dead center. So what we're gonna do now is shove this coat hanger in the cylinder, put it on top of the piston, and as the engine is rotated and the piston comes all the way up, we're gonna have a visual mark to show us, hey, it's at top dead center, and then we're gonna look at the balancer and go, are we actually pointing the timing light at the correct mark, and is that distributor rotor pointed at the right cylinder? I don't think it is, but we're gonna check that out right now. Okay, hold it. So now the piston's dwelling, and the rotor is pointed way over there. Our timing mark has disappeared, but look, real faint. Right there on the balancer is another timing mark. This is the one we need to be timing off of, and we need to take the distributor out, rotate it, put it back in, point that there, and put the plug wires back on where they need to go, and everything should be good after that. Go past it a little bit. There you go. Hold it down.
Let's bump. Okay.
Okay.
So we're trying another carburetor right now. This come off their truck called Garfield. It's off in 65 C20 or C30?
69. C20.
The engine came out of a 69 C10, so should make a pretty good combo there now.
It's practically numbers matching.
That's right.
Now it's a race car.
That's right.
That's weird, dude. All right, cut it off.
All right, it revs better, sounds better, but we still have this issue where when you put the trans in gear and step on the brakes, the engine slows way down and wants to die. Newbern's pissed. It is day 4 of the build. We technically should be on the road and we're not, and that's because we now need to pull our transmission out and replace the converter that we think might be a problem. The converter seems to be constantly coupled to the engine. So you drop the trans in drive and the engine stalls. So first things first, drive shaft out, trans down, change the converter. That solves the problem. Put the windshield in, hit the road.
Keep going.
One more.
Have to lower it down.
Going down with it.
Keep on coming.
Okay. Making a beautiful mess. Yes. Oh, wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
This wall is...
Oh, boy. Okay.
Just pull the trans back so I can flatten this thing out. Thank you.
Okay.
People at home are just watching this show, just shaking their heads.
While we have the converter out, I went ahead and got a new TCI flex plate to put in here. And once we get this in here, I'll check the engagement from the starter and make sure that's good, because it was like a 50-50 chance whether this thing would turn over or not. So we're going to fix it right now. This is our old torque converter. This was in that turbo 350 behind a 406, and I don't know what stall speed it is. This is a new one from B&M. It's a 3200 stall. It should work in theory, but we're about to find out. There you go. She's in. Like that.
Okay, we need a drive shaft, and then we need a test drive.
3, 2, 1. Nice. Time to go down to Funky Town, or the street to break down.
This would be carburetor number 3. This is a quick fuel, vacuum secondary, 650 CFM carburetor. It is a 4150 style carb with cathedral bowls. We're hoping it just runs and works, and with our new converter, the car doesn't stall anymore. I see fuel in the filter. I see fuel.
Oh, it's coming up. All right, all right, all right.
Fuel in the bowl, go ahead.
All right, ready?
Yeah, man. Aww. It is fixed, dude.
It's freaking fixed.
It sounds pretty good, too. Let's roll.
That is sporty. It's moving. It's moving. Good. Sounds good. Second gear. All right, our brakes are leaking, and it's probably the 30 or 40-year-old wheel cylinders for the drum brakes that need replacing. Second gear. That's no third gear. We got 2 gears. Hey, pull over here. Check the fluid level.
Okay. Well, our first test drive went really good. As long as you have zero interest in a transmission that'll shift into third gear or brakes that fully function. It's maybe half a quart low. I don't think that's enough to stop it from shifting. The trans not going into third gear is an issue because we're not driving on the highway with it like that. Well, let's go back to Emily and Aaron's because the brakes need fixing too. Not a bad test drive for 40 years sitting in the dirt.
That's weird. Now we got third gear.
Yeah.
All right. So then fix the brakes.
Yeah.
One less problem.
There it is.
So we're trying to get out of here. You know, it's kind of late at night. The car is so damn loud, we cannot hear each other at all. So I'm gonna add some pipe here. We're gonna try and hang some mufflers under here at least so we can have some decent conversation while we're driving.
So we just spent all night crafting an exhaust system from dryer ducting, hose clamps, and an aluminized exhaust tubing, and 2 mufflers off of an Australian Holden Monaro. Let's see how it sounds. Oh, much better. Much better. Success.
It sounds quite good.
It's got a little rumble.
Yeah, it's been a long day. Tomorrow we road trip. Let's go.
It's way quieter. It sounds good.
Yeah? Nice work, everybody. It is day 5 after our long night of building a makeshift exhaust. I believe it's finally time to go, and I expect 0 issues for the rest of this trip.
Nothing. We're good.
Let's go to Dickie's.
Let's go.
All right, I have a seat belt. I got a ratchet strap holding the battery, a ratchet strap holding the fuel cell, coat hangers holding up the exhaust, a motor we don't know anything about. Let's drive 350 miles. And here we go. Getting on the highway for the first time in 40 years. I don't want to pull in. All right, that is 53 miles an hour.
This thing rides good.
Yeah, man. You can't beat American craftsmanship from the 50s.
Look how solid this is, you know?
Yeah. Oil pressure is good. The volts are good. Water temperature is great.
So we're driving down the road, and it just starts running really bad. It won't take throttle. Feels like it's starving for fuel. And I just looked at the fuel filter, and there's definitely trash inside of it. So maybe it's as simple as putting a new filter in it, and we keep on trucking. I tell you today it's Newbern's birthday. Happy birthday.
The big 26.
She's completely restored now.
Oh, man.
Let's go for a ride.
It was dirty.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was just a clogged fuel filter, which we just changed in the parking lot. Seems back to normal, right?
Yeah.
Engine's running, doors flopping. Well, let's go. We've got another 300 miles to go today. Fuel filter? Let's see, at that rate, we'll need a fuel filter about every 40 miles. Yeah, shady spot.
Guess it wasn't the filter.
So what I have noticed is when it goes under a load, it's when it starts to spit and pop. So if I had to guess, it's probably the coil.
Yep, or the module. Start taking it apart.
That's right. I got a lot of experience with these things.
So for now, we changed the coil. And if that doesn't work, we will change the module because those tend to fail also, so.
That's hot.
All our problems about to be solved. Huh.
Good shot.
Fell right on there. Woohoo!
Try and fire it up.
Ignition.
Hold on. Okay, it's definitely not fuel. Let's put a module in it.
All right, well, obviously the coil didn't fix it, so now we're gonna undo everything we just did, remove the coil, remove the cap, remove the rotor, and underneath the rotor is an electronic ignition module. This is a high energy ignition distributor. The coil, the ignition controller, everything's built into it, no external boxes, and those things die all the time from like vibration and stuff, so. I'm gonna go with everything we did added some sort of positive measure of success, and then it just decided, you know what? These boys have worked hard enough. It's 90 degrees out. Let's just clear up and run. See? Look at that.
Yeah, sounds better.
Right?
Seems legit now. But for how long?
Died.
Oh, that was brief. All right, well, let's put a fuel pump in it. Yeah, I don't think there's much fuel in that filter, and it's just kind of spurting into it.
Yeah, it's not pumping, man. So far, everything we've tried has not worked. Now we're putting a fuel pump in it. This pump is different than our old one, and now our fuel line won't connect to it because that is not the same thread as that. Now we need to go to the parts store again. Happy birthday. So we went to the auto parts store, found the fitting for a fuel pump. We also bought an electric fuel pump just in case this gives us problems. The issue we have now is the fuel pump push rod has slid down inside the engine block and is now laying up against the side of the block. It should be pushing here. The rod is down here. So this can't go in to cover up the hole and allow us to install an electric fuel pump and bypass all this. Can you give me another screwdriver? I just pried it up. All right, good news. I got the fuel pump push rod to go back up in the engine block and it feels nice and smooth. So now Newbern is gonna attempt to just fill that cavity with silicone. And
It's so damn hot, this doesn't do anything.
all right.
We're giving up. The motor is so scorching hot, it won't stay up in there. We've tried everything. We're gonna cut the arm off the old fuel pump, bolt it back up there as like a fuel block-off plate because we couldn't find one at the parts store, and we've got an electric pump. We're gonna put that back on there. So
The push rod will be off the cam lobe.
Yeah.
No danger there. And we'll be able to get the pump on there, cover up the hole so we don't have an oil leak. Electric fuel pump that we know, well, we assume should work, and we're out of here. This is a decent solution. We don't have any power tools, but we do have a fence and adjustable wrench. I just need to figure out the right way to place this in here. What I'm trying to do is break off the pump rod. Once that's out of the way, we can bolt this to the block, and it doesn't matter that the push rod is dropped down here and is in our way.
All right, well, Finnegan is trying to block off our original fuel pump. I'm gonna put this little inline deal right up front, which is not ideal. You want it as close to the tank as possible. I'm gonna wire it into my headlights and pray that we get there before dark.
Boom. I think we're good. I think she's sufficiently mangled.
All right, I got the rest.
Fuel pump?
Flow this way. I got the hose ready down here.
That's all that stands between us and the open road, but connecting 2 wires, power and ground. We're gonna seal it from the headlights. All right, why don't you hit the button? We'll see if fuel goes in that thing.
Okay.
Oh, better. All right, on the road again. What, it shut off? What?
Dead.
It's gotta be electrical.
I don't get it. We changed the fuel. It ran great for a second. Driving up the road, shuts off. Like we've turned the ignition switch off. So now we are going to bypass this fuse panel down here, go straight from the HEI distributor straight to the battery, and, you know, see what happens at this point.
If this doesn't do it, I'm taking the distributor out of this thing.
Let's go 1 more mile. All right, let's put the distributor in.
All right, let's put the distributor in. Under the bridge, under the bridge.
I'm going.
Well, our goal of 1 mile might have been a little overly optimistic. We made it about 300 feet. That distributor is probably junk. And either the pickup's gone bad or something's happening, but we're gonna replace it right here, right now. And hope that solves our problem. Because at this point, I think Newbern's ready to push this car off a cliff.
I'm taking it back where it belongs.
Just throw that thing as far as you can.
So this is an off-the-counter HEI distributor. It's a little better than stock.
It's part of their Street Fire lineup.
Yes.
It's definitely better than stock. Ready to bump it? Oh. Okay. That's the best it's sounded. No more hesitation. Well, except for that little one.
Yeah.
Dude, so much smoother now. Sounds great. Was that you? No, really? You've got to be kidding me. What is wrong with this? There's literally nothing left. We have voltage, we have... And it just shut. Wow. Now there's no fuel in the filter again. Do we have one problem? Do we have two problems? I have no freaking idea. I'm just trying to get this man to a steak dinner for his birthday. And this car does not want that to happen. Rev it up.
It won't take it.
I don't think there's any fuel in it.
I'm a little confused at this point. So the factory tank in this car had some rust in it. We were having trouble getting fuel to the motor. So we put a used fuel cell that Emily and Aaron had in the trunk of it and ran fuel out of it. Now we think the pickup in that tank is no good, so we're going back to the original tank because the fuel pump was probably the problem the whole time. I think we're gonna be okay.
3 hours later.
I'm just kidding.
Happy birthday, you son of a... It drives good. It rides good. Like,
Yeah, it does.
we didn't touch the suspension. We didn't align it.
No,
Just floats down the road.
it does good.
Emergency alert, National Weather Service, severe thunderstorm warning in effect for this area until 7:45 tonight.
We're going right into it. We're gonna be storm chasers.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, today went about as well as you'd expect, which means it was incredible. We managed to get the car over 200 miles down Texas highways. Of course, broke down a bunch because old car, and we're really not very good at this. But in the end, we did figure out all of our problems. We fixed them, and now we are just 75 or 80 miles away from Dickie's spot, where the car came from and where we intend to go back and pick up more parts to make this a more complete hot rod. We'll do that tomorrow. Last day of the trip. The factory gas tank is now clogging the fuel filter, much like the used fuel cell was clogging the fuel filter. We're not going to switch back. What we are going to do is change the filters. And just so you know, or in case you were worried that, we went too far on this one, that we spent all the money, bought all the parts, and, polished this turd too much, trust me, we didn't. We haven't restored it at all. That's numbers matching rust. Still present. We didn't get rid of it. I think she's fixed.
Ish.
Let's go to Dickie's.
Let's go.
We're gonna make it.
If nothing goes wrong, we should be able to get there without stopping for fuel again. Come on, car. We can do this.
Just think about this. This is where this car came from. It probably crossed this bridge or drove down this road at one point in its life.
Think of this, dude. This car sat around in Dickie's yard for 4 decades, and thanks to Aaron and Emily, we're here. We just drove it 350 miles through the Texas desert. Don't die now, we're almost there.
I see it.
I see it. I recognize this. That's right where your hardtop was parked.
Oh, dude. Wow. That's one of his cars.
Wow. Dickie restored all these for himself.
I know.
We made it! Woo!
This is my happy place. This is where it all started. Early last year, I passed by this place on the interstate and saw this yard. I stopped, gave Dickie a call, ended up buying a hardtop that was sitting right here in this spot. That's where it all began. And we always kept in touch, and unfortunately, earlier this year, he passed away, and his wife, Linda, gave me the opportunity to come back in here and pick through some more cars to save. And so I did. I bought 4 more from here, and one of which we just drove right back to this very spot. I cannot wait to get back in there and look around.
I'm stoked for Newbern. He is so fired up, feeding for a hit of more Tri-5 stuff.
Like, I guarantee you open that, there's parts filled in there.
Or Chupacabra.
Steering columns and trim.
No Chupacabra.
Let's save them.
The mother lode, dude.
Look at these tires. They're like new. They have the little pricklies on them. Look, Goodyears. Look at that. That is so cool.
The sheds are the key. That's where he's hiding all the good stuff. Here's the thing. 40 years from now, when this world has really gone mad, and every junkyard from California to New York City is littered with hybrid cars, no one's gonna be going in there and saying, ooh, look at that plastic wheel simulator, and oh man, I can't wait to get that plastic dashboard for my Toyota Prius. It's just not gonna happen. But classics, like these 57 Chevys, are still out there. They're in barns and bushes and basements, and the parts to bring these cars back to life are everywhere. You just need your friends, some tools, a little bit of money and some time, and you can restore and revive automotive history, put it on the highway, and that's the kind of recycling that this planet needs. Thanks for watching Roadkill.
All right, so we're here with Linda. This is Dickie's wife, and if you'll notice, there's pictures and memorabilia all around the shop.
For years, he built out of that garage. Like to give David a little memento for honoring Dickie. My granddaughter, Tabitha, made this for a birthday present. And thank you for honoring him in all the ways you have.
That is so awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's got my receipt for the hardtop I bought in there. Oh my God.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
I wanna take you somewhere so you know I care, but it's so cold and I don't know where. I brought you daffodils on a pretty string, but they won't fly like they did last spring. And I wanna kiss you, make you feel alright. I'm just so tired to share my nights. I wanna cry and I wanna love, but all my tears have been used up on another love, another love. All my tears have been used up on another love, another love. All my tears have been used up on another love, another love. All my tears have been used up. And if somebody hurts you, I wanna fight, but my hand's been broken one too many times. So I'll use my voice, I'll be so fucking rude. Words they always win, but I know I lose. And I would sing a song that would be just us, but I sang them all to another heart. And I wanna cry, I wanna learn to love, but all my tears have been used up on another love, another love. All my tears have been used up on another love, another love. All my tears have been used up on another love, another love. All my tears have been used up.
This time on Roadkill, we're shutting down drag strips everywhere we go with a 440 dart and a lot of really weird tire smoke. Woo!
Check us out. We are at the Vice Grip Garage, Rusty Acres in Tennessee. More on that later, but more importantly, you've never seen my 68 440 Dart.
I have not, and I like it. I love the hood scoop.
It's pretty great.
And this is the car, at least I think according to Instagram, that you've virtually restored. under there.
Virtually.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait till you see under the hood. It's really impressive. This car has a great story. So it begins on episodes of Roadkill Garage, where me and Steve Dulcich were actually working on the Crusher Impala. We had dyno tested it, and we were doing burnouts everywhere out in the desert in this car, having a great time. We pull over at the side of the road for the crew to adjust GoPros and stuff, and this guy runs up to my window, and he's like, dude, I've got a bunch of dirt acres just a mile away from here, and I've got a 440 Dart that I'll let you guys thrash on. So we go over to this guy's house. Sure enough, he's got a whole bunch of dirt. Sure enough, I throw a bunch of donuts in the Crusher Impala, and then I blow a tire. And so he breaks out the 440 Dart. This guy, Dusty, and I are out in the field just spinning Brodies in the thing. And in the middle of it, I go, dude, you have to sell me this car. And he was like, I'm not so sure, this, that, and the other. So weeks later, I actually talk him out of it. The reason I had to own this car is it reminds me so much of the Cheap Thrills Dart that I built at Hot Rod Magazine in 1994 and 1995. A lot of people remember it because it was the car that had the hose clamps for transmission mount. It was so roadkill, like a full decade before roadkill. And this is the same car. It's loaded what I suspect is a motorhome 440, 727 automatic. It's got a B-body 8 3/4 in the back. It's got 456 gears. It's just a fun car. But when Steve and I dragged it home, you would pop the hood and you would see this hideous teal and white paint job. So Steve and I pulled the engine out, detailed the whole thing, painted the engine compartment, put it back in, but it is still a turd motorhome 440. Here's my whole plan. We're here somewhere in the middle of Tennessee. I've got 2 drag strips I'm dying to go to, one of which is Memphis International Raceway. The track means a lot to me. Unfortunately, they're going to close down. I want to make my last pass. And after that epic drag strip I know you're going to love, it's the most podunk hillbilly track you've ever seen, George Ray's Wildcat drag strip in Paragould, Arkansas.
I'm pretty sure that's on a farm.
Yeah, it is. I think it's a rutabaga farm.
I want to go.
And so that's our whole purpose here, and I'm sure we can get into some mischief and burnouts along the way, but there's a little wrenching to do to the car. It's got 456 gears in it, and we're going to be on the highway, and I think we should throw some 323s in it that I mooched off of Derek from Vice Grip.
That's hopefully not an open diff.
Probably is, but he has a welder.
Oh, Lincoln locker.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over to the shop. Oh, ooh, it's bumpy over here. I don't want to kill my oil pan first thing. Ooh, think Derek needs us to mow the lawn?
His backyard is very smooth.
I think it is.
The grass will grow back in a week, don't worry. Right around the Christmas trees.
It died. No, it lives. No, it died. No, it lives.
Maybe we're running out of gas. This thing revs pretty good for a motorhome motor.
Yeah. Okay. I may have plowed your field a little bit.
That's all right. I thought I heard some motorhome goodness out there. How's it going?
What's up, Derek? Good to see you.
Good. Welcome to Tennessee.
So Derek here is, of course, from Vice Grip Garage on YouTube, but you also have a new Motor Trend show. It's Roadworthy Rescues.
Yep.
Rescuing cars out of yards.
Yep. Doing what I like to do, just pulling things out of tree rows and making them run.
Cool. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, you got some work to do, I hear, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna mooch that set of gears off of you. I think that's the first thing we should do is, it's got 456s in it.
Oh.
So I wanted to install your 323s, and it needs posi or locker or welder.
Lincoln locker?
And it's overheating, so we might have to deal with that, and none of the lights work.
Oh, okay. Digical's not my favorite, but we'll make something work.
Yeah. That diff is open. Do you mind welding it up while Derek and I pull this chunk out?
Make sparks? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get her up.
68 Dart is the best. This thing is unbelievably rust-free on the underside. I'm pretty happy with it. And it's gonna get rust-proofed a little bit more because I found a massive oil leak. I'm pretty sure that valve cover gasket has given up. And I wanted to change the header gasket, but you wouldn't believe how tight the header is up in there, so I don't think that's happening. The 440 in the A-body is a tight fit.
Outside of Derek's shop, this is the new center section that's going in our Mopar rear end. Freiburger says it allegedly has 323 gears, which will be way more highway friendly than the 456s that are in the car now. I also know that it is an open differential, which means that the left and the right wheel are not directly coupled to the input shaft. When this turns, if one wheel loses traction, somehow by witchcraft inside of this, all the power goes to the wheel that's spinning and the other one never actually does a burnout. And that's a one-wheel peel, it's a one-legger, it's One stripe down the highway, it's no good. So what we're gonna do is clean this and then go in there with a MIG welder and weld the spider gears in the center together so that all of this is a locked unit, so that when we step on the gas pedal, the trans moves and the drive shaft spins, the ring gear and the pinion are connected, the wheels are connected, everything happens at the same time, and both tires spin when we want them to.
So the process is going to be remove the wheels and tires, remove the brake drums so that we can pull the axles out, and at that point we can go underneath, remove the drive shaft, remove all of the nuts that are holding the center section in, crack it loose with some sort of implement of destruction, let all of the gear oil go all over Derek's floor, crack it out, and then replace it with the one that Mike is welding up solid so that we've got two-wheel peel. Here's the thing about this. The rear end is out of a B-body, like a Charger or Roadrunner, and it's too wide for the Dart. And so it requires this Jeep Cherokee rear wheel that has more back spacing, but I'm getting the hint that maybe that center hole is a little bit small for the index on the axle. Oh, there you go. But that's why we've got Derek Bierry, the man, the myth, the legend.
So do we Dremel these out or just keep ignoring it?
It looks fine from here.
10-4.
When the drum is welded to the index like that, here's the Freiburger trick. Got to be a ball peen, though.
Yeah, I see it moving.
There you go.
I'll be. Look at that.
Ta-da!
That was actually stuck on there, too.
And you did not think this would be educational, did you? That one's gonna be a little trickier. There we go. And spring parts and parking brake adjuster parts everywhere. All right, I'll pull the axles out of this thing. I've got goop already. You got that part?
Yep.
Yep. Is it out enough? Notice how Derek and I know how to work together without ever having worked together. I knew I could trick him into doing all the work. There we go. That is some black gear oil.
It is, and it smells delicious. Nope, it's really bad. Well, I doubt it's ever been changed, right?
You would think whoever put this rear end in the car, because it's not original, would have maybe done that, but, or whoever put the 456 gear in it. You good?
Bye-bye.
That's a little chewed up, isn't it? See where the pinion gear has been eaten on the carrier right here?
Oh yeah, it's metal soup.
All right, well, we won't be putting this back in for the drag races. This is not a 456, it's a 391. When I first got the car, it was revving so high on the freeway, we calculated the math and thought it was a 456. It's actually a 391, but the converter slippage was so radical that it seemed like it was a lower gear because the converter was letting the engine rev.
Well, it has been liberally cleaned. I have also coated the ring gear in anti-splatter gel, which is something you usually would stick in the end of your MIG gun nozzle to keep the weld from sticking to it. In this case, I don't want any of the MIG weld sparks or slag to end up on the ring gear, because that's one gear we're not trying to weld here. We're just trying to weld the spider gears directly to the right of the ring gear.
When I took the drum brakes apart on the back of the Dart, there was a couple of the springs that hold the shoes together that were completely broken in half. And I said to Derek, hey, I noticed you got a couple dusters out in the rusty acres here. And so we're gonna take apart whichever one runs best. 75 is what these are?
Yeah.
You want
one
this
starts on fire randomly, so let's do this one.
There you go. Okay. Oh, too easy. Ta-da. Great.
All right.
And that's what friends are for. All right, when I buy this from you in like 3 years, I'll forget that that happened.
Yeah. Something wrong with the brakes.
Goop. Goop. I'm not doing a very pro job right here. All right, slam her in.
So see, now when I turn this round thing is connected to that round thing, and that round thing, and then this round thing and this round thing are all gonna spin at the same time. Look at that. That means 2 tire tracks.
Thank you, guys.
Couldn't have done it without you.
The movie sound effects were a nice touch. I liked it.
The Mopar 8 3/4 rear end's a little bit different than a typical muscle car rear end because you have to set the axle, bearing, end play. Think of when you put together a front disc or drum brake setup. You know how you have 2 tapered roller bearings and you have to tighten the big nut just to get the preload just right? You're doing the same thing here. It's got a tapered roller bearing on the axle and there's an adjuster behind here that you're gonna see me adjusting with the screwdriver and a hammer because you wanna get rid of that and just seat those bearings. This rear end happens to be missing the little clip that retains the setting, but let me see if I can fix it. There we go. Done. We're done with the rear end project and the brakes, and now we're moving on to trying to make at least the tail lights work, if not the headlights too.
Oh, they're just dirty.
I hope so.
Dust all over them.
Well, that and the brake light switch is disconnected.
We're almost ready to go. Rear end is back together. Brakes are back together. There's a drive shaft in the car. However, there are no functioning lights anywhere. Not headlights, not taillights, nothing. Knowing us, we're going to end up driving in the dark tonight. Rather than go right to duct taping flashlights to the nose of the car, we're going to try to make the lights work.
So we got no power to there, so that probably means the fusible link is gone. Already we know that there's no power coming in here to the fuse block, and so these guys are under the hood checking the fusible link to see if that's the problem.
There's not a lick of wiring in the nose of the car.
Nothing.
Well, I know where to find one.
I do know where to find one. All right, we're gonna go scab more parts off of Derek's Duster. This time, the whole front engine wiring harness.
Poor Derek thought we were only gonna be here one day.
We were troubleshooting the wiring on the Dart right up to the point where we realized there was no wiring from the firewall forward. And so we're gonna scavenge it off this car, which should be essentially the same thing. Derek says this one did in fact have an electrical fire, so it's the perfect donor. Oh, it's already unplugged.
See?
Yeah.
We just start ripping. Don't need that where we're going. Should we bring these with?
Sure. If you're in a donating mood, I'm in a receiving mood.
All right.
This will fix it right up.
No chance.
This is the wiring harness out of the Duster, and we're gonna give it a little hedge trimming, get rid of a lot of the stuff we don't need. We're going by memory, online wiring diagram, and dead reckoning. Like, that car had electronic ignition, we don't need that. We do need the whole headlight wiring harness. We kind of want the charging voltage regulator wiring harness. All right, let's plug it in.
So that would be your side, right? Alternator-ish?
Yep.
This would kind of come this way.
Whoever restored the engine compartment forgot to put all the wiring back in here. I don't see a single ground cable, charge wire, nothing. It's impressive that it even ran.
This fender is all pushed in, so is the bumper and everything, and once I got this off, I couldn't get back on. So Derek broke out a slide hammer and a piece of wood, and we just bodyworked it.
Oh, look at that.
Like a glove. Perfect.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the moment. We've got either success or fire. Mike's hooking up all the power. Got like 4 different power wires now hanging off everything.
Ready?
You ready to?
All the candle powers, please.
Yeah, headlights?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about brights? Yes.
Wow.
Both of them?
Yes.
No smoke either. How about taillights?
Taillights?
Oh, you got a side marker back here, bro.
Here's no side marker. It's the O-Dart. So is this running lights?
Yeah.
You're blinking the right.
Blinking left?
Now you're blinking the left.
Okay, still no brakes, right?
Oh, there's no power going to the brake light switch. Remember the switch is disconnected?
That's an easy fix.
Yeah.
Okay.
The used wiring harness worked. We have headlights, we have tail lights, we don't have brake lights yet. but Derek's about to fix that. Our last big conundrum is firing it up to see if the charging system works. And if so, then I have to guilt Derek into giving me a few parts like an electric fan for the road, and we're out of here.
It's working.
I mean, it's 12 and a half, but it went up from 12.18.
It's working.
It's working the right direction. Derek, we're out of your hair.
We're on a road trip. All right.
Notice that the hood pins are the ends of bungee cords. All right, thanks again.
Yep, you're welcome.
See ya.
See you guys.
Think we'll make it past the end of the driveway?
I hope so. That's where the warranty stops.
I helped the exhaust leak a little bit.
Yeah, that's not as bad as it was.
And we did it.
Out the door.
Oh, this is a welded rear end. I can tell.
Yeah, it's like race car stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah, full race, 323 gears, welded.
Chirping around every corner in a parking lot.
Yeah.
I like the noise. I do. I gotta be honest.
It would have been too embarrassing to have a one-legger for all the burnouts I'm gonna do. Oh, we didn't put air in the left front tire.
You're like, we don't have enough air in this tire.
Wow. Wow, this thing's fuming me out.
It is stinkier now. I think that's the fuel leak, though.
Maybe. Yeah, it might just be vaporizing all the fuel. It's cruising pretty well.
The Dart's good.
At least in the evening temperatures, it cooled down too. It's running a little above 190.
It's a lot of fumes.
It's pretty fumy.
Yeah. Going full on happy dog mode. Get out the window. All right, that's better. Much better. I don't know if that's exhaust. I think that's the gasoline.
You're right, that's raw gas.
Yeah, I smell fuel.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I got the perfect position of the hand.
Do the hand scoop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sucking the fresh air into my nostrils. Straight to the gills.
The air-fuel ratio on this thing right now is 1-to-1.
That's aggressive.
All right, we're calling it a night. We're gonna have to fix some stuff on this first thing in the morning. It's undrivably bad.
I can't see.
I know, I just gotta get out of this thing. Don't care. Ah, bail out.
Holy cow.
Man, we've had it bad, and this was the worst. Good morning from steamy Nashville. The drive last night was excellent, except for the parts that were intolerable.
Yeah, all 34 miles of that drive was pretty much the worst I've had in a decade.
Yeah, our eyes were bleeding from the gas fumes and exhaust fumes inside the car. So we got to deal with that and overheating and no fuel filter. Valve cover gaskets are all leaky.
Yeah, oddly enough, the engine compartment restoration didn't include any of the things that make the car work, like wiring and a fuel filter. I don't know. It's weird.
It looked great, though.
It looks amazing. It just works like crap.
We already found out that our radiator cap was junk, so we're going to slam another one of those on. Hopefully that solves the cooling problem. If it doesn't, we'll put on an electric fan later on. I really would like to figure out how to fix the fuel leak at the gas tank, because I think it was actual raw gasoline vapor in the car yesterday.
So I'll take this off, tape around the neck as best I can, put this back on, put a hose through it, tape this whole thing, and maybe that'll help.
Maybe. Mike moved on to the noxious fume abatement program back at the trunk, and I'm gonna start off here with the fuel filter. I'm trying desperately not to ruin this expertly built hardline that Steve Dulcich on Roadkill Garage assembled for me. I think I can get the filter down at the bottom in between the fuel delivery pipe and the fuel pump itself. Right now the hose is only about that long, and so I'm gonna have to put a big whoop-de-doo in it, but it's better than hacking that brilliance right there.
We're going to tape up the fuel filler. We're going to add the vent hose to the fuel filler that's completely missing and pointed into the trunk. We're then going to tape up all the holes in the trunk and probably tape the trunk lid to the car because it's missing the seal around the trunk. And what happens is the exhaust that's dumping out back here ends up doing one of these deals and going right back into the car, suffocating us.
All right, I already made a fuel leak. See if I can get this done quickly enough to avert total disaster.
Note that I'm only using the really sticky stuff on the floor, not the outside of the vehicle, because this would take what's left of this paint job right off this car.
This is unfun right now. There's the gusher. This is why I disconnected the battery, so I don't arc across the back of the alternator with a tool and set myself ablaze. I'm gonna check the valve cover gasket here. Both valve covers are leaking hideously. The problem is these stamped steel covers, I can almost never get them to work, especially, look at that junk. Oh, that's why. This is the hard type of gasket. This type of stamped steel valve cover typically doesn't work very well on these heads because there's no machined rail for the gasket. It's just cast on the stock head. And this is all trash. The new gasket here is cork, which is softer than those ones that came off. It's more appropriate for the stamped steel valve cover, and they've got these little tabs that'll lock it in. So this stands a better chance of not leaking. Not a 0% chance, but it has maybe 10% better chance.
So in a normal car, this would be a problem. I'm just taping up the largest cargo area of the whole vehicle, but this is a 68 Dodge Dart. It's got all kinds of room behind the front seats for tools and luggage and everything else. So pretty much, because we're not hauling dead bodies in the trunk, this is an okay move to make. Except for the part where Freiburger gets mad that I taped on the patina.
That's gonna be more better. We'll find out on the road, right?
Ah, I feel good. We put way too much effort in it. Ready for the final mod? Going to eradicate all traces of exhaust and fuel with black ice.
Black ice. Yeah, I don't think that covers petroleum smell.
Oh, yeah, it does. You combo the black ice with the vanilla.
Oh, that's right. That was a good one.
You went full-on Steve Dulcich. No warm-up or nothing, just
It's a motorhome 440. What could go wrong?
I'm not suffocating at the moment. It sounds great.
At higher speeds is when it was worse.
Yes, that's the test, the highway.
I'm not dying yet.
Not yet. I smell a little bit of exhaust.
But that's normal.
It's not as bad as it was, though.
I think our new radiator cap's working.
I do, too.
It's at like 180 degrees right now.
Radiator, the tape, the black ice, it's all working. We're going to make it to Memphis today. I just threw that out there.
Ooh, we might drag race.
Maybe.
Well, it's been an interesting couple of hours. First off, we ran out of gas, which was expected, but man, that was a hairy freeway. Those semi-trucks were close. But we filled it up with, by the way, an excellent gas can. So then it started to rain here really badly. So we took our opportunity to stop here at Texas Tire because we'd been carrying a set of tires that Derek gave to us, and I know it really let him down if we didn't break them in properly.
Yeah,
So
you gotta
that's-
warm them up
yeah.
before you get back on the open road.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what's gonna happen right now. Ready?
Do your worst.
I hope this works.
It's working. They're yellow. They're bright yellow.
Yes!
They work.
Yellow tire smoke. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, that was fun. Yep, Derek gave us yellow tires. He always goes with the blue and the red. Apparently he gets these things from Australia.
Yeah, the smoke looked like lemonade.
Lemonade. Lemonade flavor. Remind me not to spin it out with the locked rear end in the rain.
Okay.
All right, we're headed to Memphis International Raceway.
It is only 78 miles.
What does your weather app say about rain in Millington?
It is thunder, lightning, and raining there right now. a 90% chance of still raining at 4 and 5.
Oh, that's not good.
But after that, no.
I want to go there anyway because the next time I'm able to get to Memphis, that track is going to be a warehouse.
Yeah.
Gone.
Like you said, we should just go. One way or another, I'd like to see it once more.
Yep. The Dart might be my best currently running highway cruising muscle car.
It's pretty darn good.
Not that many people get to drive around with a 68 Hurst Hemi Dart hood scoop. This time on Roadkill, we spend like an hour and a half out of gas at the side of the road. So I asked my Instagram followers to decide what's cooler, O-Dart or El Darto. El Darto wins by 82%.
Oh, yeah. Those people love tacos, too.
The 1968 side marker light looks like an O. So on one side, it's O-Dart. And on the other side, it's Darto. El Darto. Not quite the same.
Put your foot to the floor.
Oh, my God!
Shift 9 times. There's a new Fast and the Furious movie coming out.
Yep. Oh, wait. Mason's here with our gasoline. Here we go.
Ooh, all right. It's like 19 miles.
Yeah.
Stuck 5 gallons in.
Right, we're out of here. We're going to go find out that the drag strip's closed. I did use up all our pump shot.
There we go.
And that might be it.
Let's ride.
Not much smoke. It's too rainy.
Oh man, the locked rear end in the moisture's unsettling.
Yeah.
I see it.
This place had a circle track, a drag strip, and a road race course. All gone. The first time I ever announced a drag race was here. Well, here's the skinny on this place. Fortunately, we were able to get a hold of a groundskeeper here, and they were gonna have a test and tune tonight. It rained out, but they've let us come in and check it out, so.
This was one of the nicer tracks I've been to, too. It's a bummer.
Just so much history. Let me go look around for the last time. We made it to Memphis International Raceway, which is this drag strip, and there's also a circle track and a big road race track here. We didn't make it for the test and tune tonight that was canceled. I really wanted to make my last pass here. But I'm really happy that we made it at all, and it's so cool that they let us in here just to look around. This track has just meant so much to my career. I was on staff at Hot Rod Magazine in 1992 when we held the very first Hot Rod Fastest Streetcar Shootout here. And that's the event that kicked off the whole street legal drag racing scene. I started the Pump Gas Drags here in 2003, and Hot Rod Drag Week and Power Tour have been here multiple times. This is where I announced my very first drag race. And on Roadkill, we raced the road course here during one lap of America. It's not definite that the drag strip here is gonna close, but it is not looking good. And it's very sad to me that this is probably my last time at the track. Let's do burnouts.
This is quite a water box.
Yeah, it is. Anymore. How about you? I totally can't see you.
That's because I'm not here.
Woo!
You're not on fire, though. Don't worry.
Woo! Look at that.
You just achieved full-on Cheech and Chong mode.
That is awesome!
Brilliant. This is a good demonstration of why we're suffocating while we drive.
Oh, that was fun. But now we're gonna drive all the way down for the last time. Well, I hope to cross this finish line at wide open throttle, but I'll take it. This has been awesome.
You did win. The other guy didn't show up.
You know, the road course here was where we first started having the fastest streetcar cars drive a so-called street test. We made them do 30 miles in laps, and a bunch of them overheated and couldn't start again and we're out.
Wow. We did the drag strip, we did the road course, and the final element here at Memphis International Raceway is the 3/4 mile paved and banked oval track. It's been closed for a while, but it's still here, and Finnegan's gonna drive the 440 Dart for the first time.
I can't believe we're getting to drive around this track right now.
I can't believe I've never been in this track and all the times I've been to the drag strip.
This is pretty spunky for a motorhome engine. This is cool. Imagine 6,000 people sitting in these stands.
And going 180 right here, or whatever they do.
Wow. Yeah, that's gnarly. Bye-bye, Memphis. Whee!
Man, Beale Street right here in Memphis, the home of the blues. We had a fun time here last night. Some of the crew had a more fun time than others. And this morning we ate breakfast at the historic Arcade Cafe. And now we're doing what?
Another drag strip that probably isn't open.
This one we know isn't open. So we're gonna head out to that. And then tonight we'll be at George Ray's drag strip for the test and tune.
All right, let's go.
So what we're looking for is Lakeland Dragway.
Lakeland?
Yep.
Why have I heard that name before?
I'll let you know.
This isn't the one from 2-Lane Blacktop.
Yes, it is.
Oh, no way.
Yes, this is the very last scene of 2-Lane Blacktop.
Oh.
I was going to break that news to you, but you figured it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did it close?
1979.
So after the movie came out, but not by much, right?
When did the movie come out?
I don't remember. It was in the 70s, though.
Yeah, 72, something like that.
Wow.
This is it.
This is it, right?
I'm so proud of you that you knew. Let's have a look.
Wow, this is cool. Nice surprise, Freiburger. Thank you.
What we're looking at here is the site of Lakeland Dragway, which opened in 1960, closed in 1979. They had the drag strip and a big road racy track, just like Memphis, and also an oval track, just like Memphis, but gone, closed. The main thing you care about this for, though, is it is the scene where they shot the final conclusion of 2-Lane Blacktop.
Yeah, where it all melts and everything, and he's banging gears off into outer space.
Yeah, very existential.
Yeah.
But there's nothing really left here. I'm glad we came. It's cool to see, you know, sort of where the ghosts of the past were, but there's no relics here anymore.
But if you want to see it, you can still, go off-roading in your muscle car.
Which is probably what we're gonna do about halfway to George Ray's when I blow one of those bald rear tires and we spin into a ditch, but we're gonna try and get to George Ray's drag strip and actually make runs.
We got this. So this is like last race, film melts, the whole deal?
Whole deal, yeah. Film melting. Let us just fade away into oblivion. Here's the bridge and Mud Island.
I've yet to break down on this one. Welcome to Arkansas.
All right, we made it into Arkansas. Our next stop is gonna be George Ray's Wildcat Drag Strip.
Where you race at your own risk.
and I will. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch old Bandit run. We made it to one of the most unique drag strips in the country. This is George Ray's Wildcat drag strip just outside of Paragould, Arkansas. And I had to bring Mike. Way back in 2008, I was taking the muscle truck on a cross-country trip, actually to Memphis, for the very first LS shootout. And we stopped by here, and I was able to meet George Ray, the guy who founded this track in 1961. And what he told me is that he had taken one of his cars to an NHRA race, and they wouldn't let him run because he failed tech. And he's like, I can handle this. I'm gonna build my own drag strip on his bean farm. And that's exactly what he did. He started laying in gravel, making a flat spot, and ultimately built a quarter-mile drag strip here. And as the car started getting faster, it went to 1/8 mile. So honestly, this is like one of the most raw and pure drag strips you'll find anywhere. And I haven't been here in a long time, but I'm gonna show Mike for his very first time. The first time I came here, it was the one that had been here since like the late 60s or something, and it was just falling down. They rebuilt this one a few years ago.
This is so close to the surface, like,
yeah.
Like if it launches a drive shaft.
Yep.
Look out.
Look, they're actually laying down traction compound. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. I've never sat this close, no barrier. The car is launching.
So what are the top 5 most incredible reactions you've had so far at George Ray's?
I'm just blown away by how close the parking lot is to the starting line.
These are some pretty good cars. I think we need to bring the level down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we need to show them what real fun looks like.
I'm pretty sure they'll let you drive the Dart in shorts.
I'm pretty sure they'll let you drive in flip-flops.
All right, we should go race before it gets dark. Well, here we go, the reason for this entire episode. I am finally gonna make a pass at one of the most special drag strips anywhere, George Ray's. It's gonna be anticlimactic performance-wise, but I don't care. It's gonna be huge for me personally. I'm gonna run my car at George Ray's.
Oh, he found the water. Nice. It just occurred to me there's no scoreboard, right? So, like, I won't even know what he runs, and it doesn't matter. Just the fact that we made it here, that's all I care about.
All right, I have no idea where the beams are here, so I'm creeping up. Wow, it's close to the tree. It's so weird. Okay, there's pre-stage, there's stage. Oh, it's just so loose. Wow. Okay, that was super sketchy, even in a really slow car. Oh, man.
So here's how hardcore this place is. David was skating all over that racetrack. Like, I was like, ooh, lift, man, lift. Not a peep from the crowd here. It's like nobody even noticed. They're like, okay, yeah, let's get the next thing up here that's way more impressive or sketchy than what they just saw.
Well, I'm gonna go one more time. They didn't give me a time slip, but I don't particularly care. It's really just about the experience of it. And it's different, that's for sure.
Oh, Freiburger's going again. Oh, some strategery on his part.
Okay, gonna make one more run here.
He is spinning his tires the whole way.
Wow, it is so loose. Ah, I bought him in 3rd gear, and it died. I think I sloshed my gas away from the pickup or something. 3rd gear, it just fell on its face. It's unbelievable how little traction this thing has. I consider this a gutless car. It is on street tires. It just didn't want to go anywhere. The track is so rough and loose.
Well, there you have it. Our first ever trip to George Ray's Wildcat drag strip, and claiming success. I don't care that it fishtailed all the way down the track. We made it here, and that's all that really matters. We don't have the nicest car, we don't have the fastest car, but I guarantee we had more fun than anyone else.
I don't know how those guys do it.
I don't know, but yours was the sketchiest passes I've seen.
I know, isn't it unbelievable? All over the place.
Yeah, you were living.
It was annihilating the tires all the way down, except for that last time I went into third and it fell on its face. I think it was sloshing gas away from the pickup.
I don't think any of that matters. All I think that matters is that you just get here and go have fun.
100%.
And whatever.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
This is a bucket list item, as we often say.
Just cross it right off.
Cross it off. I'd been here, I'd talked to the man, I'd never made a pass, and it's handled. George Ray's is the most roadkill drag strip ever, and what a road trip this has been. I proved that my new big block Dart is a great streetable beater. I got to wrench with my buddy Derek from Vice Grip Garage and welcome him to Motor Trend. When we hit the road, we saw that great abandoned drag strip that meant so much to Mike, and then we visited that Memphis track that is such a part of my life, and it's probably the very last time I'm gonna be there. But then we end on a high note at George Ray's, where I was able to rip a couple of passes that I've been waiting to make for 14 years since I was first there. It's just another example of Roadkill setting goals with buddies and making them happen. You know what? Forget the gas prices right now. Just eat more mac and cheese. Maybe skip some of the car mods you were planning on making and then hit the road. That is the Roadkill way.
I only found out today that we still have Roadkill stickers.
Oh, that's not a still. Those are new.
Oh. I've been trying to peel this sticker for 5 minutes. Okay, there we go. I got it.
Quality.
I got it. Can I put this here? It's your car.
Right there. Boom. That's not even straight.
Nothing on this
That's actually
car.
pretty good.
Yeah, nothing on this car is straight. You're really hard on me.